Hey guys, what's up? It's Kyle. So I wanted to make a quick video about for sale by owner listings. 90% of my listings or so have come in the past couple years from for sale by owners. And when you're talking about doing 20 plus million personally in sales and listings, that's a lot of listings, it's a lot of sales. So just wanted to give you a couple pointers and a couple steps on how to contact and talk to and then ultimately list for sale by owners. So let's get right into it, but before we do, go hit the like button below. It helps with the YouTube algorithm. Thank you so much.
And I think to myself, what a wonderful world.
Okay, so the first step in listing for sale by owners is contacting for sale by owners. Now, where to find them? You have to go on Zillow. A lot of times you can just go on Zillow, type in the town you want, and then for sale by owner, they will pop up. The other way is if you have a dialer. That's what I use. I started on Zillow, but then I've upgraded to a dialer. I use personally RedX. I'm not showing any kind of company, but I'll put a link to that below as well. That just sources it all in one place, and then it usually gives you the phone number. And at least in RedX, it gives you the option to click on a little icon that takes you to the Zillow page. So I think they get their for sale by owner listings from Zillow, so that's why that's that. So that's the first thing you have to do, is to know where to find them and be able to have their number and contact info. Okay, so the second step in contacting them is you want to give them a call and you want to just introduce yourself. Plain and simple. Hi, this is Kyle, Prestige Properties. I just given you a call about this 123 Main Street. I saw it was listed for sale, and it's for sale by owner, correct? They usually say yes, and you say, okay, great. Just had a couple questions about this. Now, you can either develop a couple questions if you do have them, or just say like, hey, I was just wondering, are you working with buyer's agents? Now, their answer on this is gonna be one of two things. No, I wanna sell directly to the consumer, right to the buyer themselves. And in that case, I usually just say, great, thank you, I'll contact you in a week or so, because they usually don't understand the process and they think it's just going to be easy. There's going to be buyers coming to them directly because maybe they've done it in the past or something like that. But a lot of the times they will say, yes, I'm open to paying a commission for a buyer's agent, whether it's 2.5%, 3%, whatever. And that's the first step. So once you get that, you know that you're already halfway there. So getting them to agree to that in this second step is one of the biggest things, because you're halfway, even sometimes more than that, to be able to secure a listing, because you're only getting them to agree to an additional 2.5% or 3% in order to list it. Okay, so the number 3 step in this is to talk to them, thank them for that, tell them that you're gonna send this to your buyers. You're going to also send this around to the other agents in your office or on your team, because they like to know of off-market things as well. And why you say off-market is because it subliminally gets them to realize that they're not on the market. And they think they are because they're on Zillow or something like that. And by getting them to think of that this way, then it's starting the steps of realizing they're not exposed to the whole marketplace. Okay, so the step 4 process is to say, hey, I just wanted to ask this. If you don't and aren't able to sell this on your own, are you gonna plan on listing this with a real estate agent? And I asked them a couple leading questions to see where they're at in their mind space. Are they gonna list with an agent? Maybe they're saying they're gonna give it 2 to 3 weeks. Then at least you know a definite answer. Or maybe they say, I've already bought a place, and we're gonna try this out for a couple weeks. Then they're kind of under pressure. Sometimes they'll say, I don't need to sell this place, I'm just checking on the market to see the temperature. That's kind of a little bit, a cool lead. But regardless, once you say that to them, you ask them a couple leading questions and you find out what their mindset is. All right, so the next step in this process is I want to lead them with an example. So I usually just say, you can use an example that you've had, and I had one specifically, or you can use a general example. And I'll give you the specific example I use, and then you can kind of use your own general one if you don't have a specific example. I say, I just want to throw this out there, because it's all about your net proceeds at the end of the day, and they're intrigued about that. Now, I usually say, there was a situation I had with a for sale by owner, and this is true, that he was listed for 1.5. And originally he was just offering out the buyer's agent commission of like 2%, which is a $30,000 commission. And, he was getting some people coming and some offers, and those offers had buyer's agents attached. So he was already paying out 30 grand, right? And those offers from listed at 1.5 were around 1.4 and 1.35. So even at the higher offer, 1.4, he was paying out a 30 grand commission and netting 1.37. Those agents, I say, that were coming to him with that were working on behalf of their buyer, because they don't have it, they're working on behalf of their buyer. So they're trying to get them the best possible price. Now I said, after a couple weeks of trying himself, he asked if I mentioned, how's he doing? I said I could possibly sell this for 1.5, but I'd have to come over and check it out. I came over and checked it out. I knew I could sell that for 1.5 if it was exposed to the full marketplace and I used all my marketing materials. Now, what did we end up doing? We listed it for 1.499. We sold it for over asking 1.5. And he did pay out a full 4% commission, which was 60 grand, but he netted 1.44. So when you see in that case, he netted 70 grand more, and he also he had somebody watching out for all potential pitfalls along the way: inspections, appraisals, things that could go wrong from contract to close. So I had made him realize that, and we listed, he netted more money, and he had somebody looking out for him and handling the whole transaction. So in that case, it was a win-win for him. He netted more money, he had somebody looking out for him. I give them that example and just leave them with that, because the same thing could go if you don't have an example. You could use that example if you wanted, or you could just say, look, you're listed at $1 million. If you get an offer at 950, and then they have a buyer's agent on it, because the majority of the for sale by owners that do sell with buyer's agents attached. They're going to be netting less than that, possibly around 20 grand commission, around 930. So you understand that, would you accept an offer of 950 right now? And they say probably, yeah, maybe. Okay, well, you'd be netting around 930 if it doesn't come directly to a buyer. Now, if I list this for $1 million, and even if we pay out a 5% commission fully, and that's 50 grand, you'd be netting 950 in that case, and taking all the stress off your shoulders. So getting them to understand this, and it's having them make up their mind, not you telling them what you can do, which is where you go. And when their mind starts working this way, that's you're 90% there. All right, so the final step in this whole process is to get their email. So when you get their email, you ask them, hey, so look, I just want to send you a quick one-off email so you have my information. And what you do with this is, I have a program called BombBomb. I suggest you look into it. I'll leave a link below. BombBomb is a video emailing process where you can actually send an email, put a video in it, and when they click on it, I usually just say, hey, it's Kyle, we just spoke on the phone, great meeting you, have a personalized message to them, say all my links below for all my information, check them out, and just wanted to let you know I'm going to send this out to everybody, send this out to my buyers, see if they're interested, but really want you to think about what we talked about in regards to the listing it and just paying for an additional listing fee to be able to net, or to be able to sell it for a higher price and net more money ultimately. So that's what you do. I also give them the latest stat. You can probably find this on Google, and to find what the percentage of for sale by owners go compared to for sale on the market, because it's all about their net proceeds at the end of the day. And if they can start thinking like this, you're getting them to realize that they need an agent to market and list their property that's a strong real estate listing agent such as yourself. So guys, thank you so much for tuning in. If you haven't done so already, hit the like button and subscribe, and hit the notification bell so you will get notifications every time I post a new video. If you want to also follow me on Instagram and Twitter, I'm on there pretty much daily, so you'll be a part of it as well. Thank you so much for tuning in, and have a great day.